Hi everyone, this is KanDJohnson. I'm coming to you all this evening to discuss something of interest to me concerning all the political posts and posts concerning racial issues on Facebook. Well, I would say on social media, but I'm specifically speaking about Facebook. Now, I want people to understand, and please share this, because a lot of people assume a lot of things when it comes to political issues and religious issues. They just assume too damn much. And I think the assumptions is the major part of the frustrations or the anger and the animosity that's built up whenever people try to indulge in a conversation concerning these matters. Now, I can understand that some people are just very passionate about their views, and that's not what I'm speaking on particularly. What I'm speaking on particularly is people who use social media to spew out their negativity and create problems that aren't even there. Okay, what I mean by that is that a lot of times people will take a situation or a story in the news, well knowing that news media lie. Well knowing. But they will embark upon a conversation or even a debate concerning a topic that doesn't even exist, or concerning a belief that doesn't even exist. I'll give you a good example. I'm always talking about prayer, and I do talk about God. So when people hear me swear or see me smoking or whatever, the first thing that they choose to attack is from a religious aspect of basically shaking the finger at me saying, oh, I thought you was a Christian, or you supposed to be a Christian. And I'll just look at them with a dead look on my face like, who told you? Who told you I was a Christian to begin with? So that's what I mean by people will assume too much and create a whole situation around an assumption that isn't even true to begin with. On the flip side of that, I've seen people attack me and say I'm an atheist because I don't believe in Jesus. All right. So I think we all need to just take one moment and perhaps a deep breath with it and think before you post, think before you say things. I'm quick to jump conclusions, but I'm also quick to rescind and digress from pursuing a conversation that clearly I was mistaken. Clearly I assumed too much or whatever. And so I will digress from that conversation. And one thing I've noticed with a lot of people is when they are wrong, nobody wants to admit it. Goddamn, you can't be right all the time. But the thing about it is they don't want to admit they're wrong because they want to continue in that course of creating chaos based on false beliefs. It's that simple. There's no other reason that they would ignore the fact that if someone presents a counter argument to them and their argument is legitimate, is valid, is on the topic, I mean, come on. And why would you ignore that if you really wanted to know the truth, or if you really wanted to stand for the truth? The only reason that people do ignore it when people have valid points is because they want to perpetuate chaos. Plain and simple. There is no way that someone can convince me that they didn't want to perpetuate chaos if a situation like that is presented. Because when you want to make changes, you first understand and know that you got to change yourself. You got to change yourself. Anytime you see somebody always pointing fingers and blaming somebody else for wrongdoing and never admitting to their wrongdoing or misappropriation, that person is clearly ignorant. And that's why I said on my post, we need a nigga please button for people who will knowingly post things that they know will create chaos, and but they are pretending that, oh, I'm posting this for awareness, or there is no reason really to post a lot of negative things, because you have, I would say in general, probably at the least, I would say at the most, 3 reasons you would post something negative. You're going to either post something negative because you negative and you feed on negativity, or you have a legitimate complaint, and so what may seem to be negative is actually just a legitimate complaint. And every time somebody complains about something, that isn't necessarily negativity. If you're realistic, you can see when things are wrong or out of place. So it doesn't make you negative to notice negative things. It just makes you realistic. Now, when you have a negative situation and you can't see nothing positive in it, then that right there is a sign that you're wanting to perpetuate negativity. You're wanting to perpetuate negativity. And some people post negative stuff because they're just trying to get some type of reaction out of people, because they are attention seekers. So those are the 3. Either you negative, you trying to be negative, and you're just trying to perpetuate bullshit, or some people just want attention, and then some people are just venting or have a legitimate complaint. So whenever I see a post that has a negative connotation to it, I think in my mind with just looking at the totality of the post, what and try to figure out what the purpose of the person's intentions was for posting that. And you might say, well, Candy, you can't tell people intentions just by looking at the post. Well, sometimes you can, because people write comments with it, and you can tell when people are trying to stir up mess just based on their comments that they posted with the post. All right. Also, you can scroll down their page and see if there's a pattern of negativity. When I scroll down people's page and I see a pattern of negativity, I'm not going to indulge in none of your shit. I'm just going to block you. And the reason why I'm going to block you is because that's not something I want to indulge in. Simple. 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 So, that being said, if you spread negative shit, talking about you informing people, let me tell you something right quick about these so-called people talking about they studied their history, they studied this and they studied that. All right, and this is the fuel that fires these type of people just thinking that they know something. Well, let me explain something to you. This some real shit. Write this shit down. You can know a whole bunch of shit and not have no damn money. I'm gonna let that marinate right quick. You can know a whole bunch of shit and not have no damn money. That one fact by itself is proof that it doesn't give any value. It doesn't add any value to you knowing that bullshit. So, whatever it is that you know, and I'm very knowledgeable, but I don't go around starting up arguments with people just to try to prove that I know something that they don't. Because ain't no fucking money involved. I'm strictly business, baby. If ain't no money involved, or making people happy, something pure, that's still, to me, making people happy is something of value. If it ain't bringing no value to me or the person that I'm speaking to, I shut the fuck up, and maybe that's what y'all need to do.